昔々、ご先祖様が神様から美人になる薬をもらって飲んだんですって。それから代々、うちは可愛い元気な女の子が一人だけ生まれることになったの。だから、ほら、ナナミをこんな美人に産んであげられたわ。
While anime does feature some notably good parents, a good number of anime out there features cases of bad parenting here and there. In fact, horrible parents in anime are so common, they practically become one of the anime's tropes, anime's most memorable mothers. You must be warned though, since this list contains characters that are indeed memorable, though absolutely not in a good way. In fact, if any of these mothers do exist in real life, they will probably have their children whisked away by child services. We are counting down our top 10 anime moms who don't deserve Mother's Day. Coming in at number 10, we have Momo and Yuzu's moms from Anonymous Noise. You'd think that a reunion of three childhood friends would be cause for celebration, since Nino is finally able to see both Momo and Yuzu after all these years. But things are never that easy when it comes to this anime. This series isn't content to give us one horrible mom, but two. In what ways are they horrible? Well, let's break it down now, shall we? Momo's mom is a smug manipulator. Oh boy. To say this woman is manipulative is like saying that it's dark at night. The moment she appears is the moment your skin starts to crawl, because your subconscious lizard brain has just detected a threat and is warning you to run and never look back. Look, we really don't want to spoil everything for you, but let's be cryptic and just say that there's a very good reason why Momo hates his mother. Yuzu's mom is unrepentantly controlling. Overprotective parents are pretty much cliches at this point. You know the drill. Parents don't let their kids do something they love due to something that happened in the past, drama happens, and everyone learns an important lesson. But not every story ends like that. Some parents, like Yuzu's mom, end up taking things way too far. It's one thing to tell kids not to do things for their own good, but the way Yuzu's mom enforces her rules, yikes.
早く解放してあげなさいよ。この子、絶対後悔してる。奏に会わなければよかったって。何度も言わせないで。もう音楽は捨てて。
At number 9, we have Hayate's mom from Hayate, the combat butler. Hayate's mom sold her son to the Yakuza. Gambling debts can drive good people to do horrible things. In the case of Hayate's mother, it drove a horrible person to do an even more horrible thing. Okay, that's not fair. Hayate's father was in on it too, but this is a Mother's Day blog. So there you go. To cover their massive gambling debt, these two ended up selling their own son to the freaking Yakuza. We're not talking about some kind of indentured servitude either. No, thanks to them, the Yakuza now claim ownership of Hayate's organs, and they've come to collect. Fortunately, Hayate survives this encounter with what his name being in the title of the series, but he never would have been in that position had it not been for mommy and daddy. At number 8, we have Satsuki Matsume from Hanasako Iroha. Talk about selfish. Satsuki is a free spirit, and that's alright. After all, she does have a pretty good career, and she even looks good for her age. There's just one thing though. She has a daughter, and well, she doesn't really live the life of someone with a child. In fact, when her boyfriend got his and her finances really messed up, she decided to run away. But yeah, you guessed it, she ran away without her daughter. Her decision to run away ultimately turns her daughter's life upside down, forcing her daughter to move in with a grandmother she did not know really well, and one who treated her not as family, but as a simple employee. If it wasn't for Ohana's resilience, she might have messed up her child really badly. At number 7, we have Hiromi Shiota from Assassination Classroom Season 2. Sometimes parents end up feeling disappointed about their children, and whenever they do, they react in a menagerie of negative ways. For Nagisa Shiota, this turned out to be his life under the care of his mother, Hiromi. Hiromi initially wanted a daughter, so when she had a son, she decided to force him to be the daughter she always wanted. Not only that, she was pretty antagonistic towards him, shouting at him and berating him over mundane things. Her temper is not just towards her son, either, as she even has a tendency to fly into a rage when talking with other people too. Being the mother that she is, one thing is for sure, no one is safe from Hiromi Shiota. At number 6, we have Asuka's mom in Neon Genesis Evangelion. Okay, out of all the moms in this list, Asuka's mom is the one who could probably get a free pass. She is, after all, clinically insane, but that does not excuse her from making young Asuka's life a living hell. Through the course of the series, Asuka's memories of her mother failing to recognize her as a child haunted the young Eva pilot. Of course, the fact that she eventually opted to commit suicide didn't help, especially since Asuka, who was then but a small child, discovered her hanging corpse alone. Yeah, among Evangelion's characters, Asuka is one of the most messed up. Considering the mother she had, it is not much of a surprise. Number 5, we have Yuno's mom from Mirai Nikki. Through the course of Mirai Nikki, viewers get both impressed and aghast at what Yuno is capable of doing. What viewers realize when watching the show is, of course, how messed up her parents are. Her mom is a complete control freak who literally locks Yuno in a cage in order to keep her straight. She has one idea, to have the perfect daughter, and she will stop at nothing to get what she wants, even if it involves treating her daughter like an animal. Eventually, karma catches up with her as Yuno eventually kills her by placing her inside the very cage where she kept her daughter. Indeed, her upbringing is proof that ultimately, nurture beats out nature. If anyone is wondering how in the world Yuno got so messed up, look no further than her mother. At number 4, we have Medusa Gorgon from Soul Eater. With a name like Medusa Gorgon, it is not really much of a surprise that she would portray a horrible mother. Surprisingly though, not even her name could prepare fans of Soul Eater to the way she treats her own son, Krona. Cold and calculating, she is portrayed to be a woman who is capable of caring very little for others, even her son, whom she treats as a mere pawn. In fact, being a scientist, she views other people as simple lab rats. Her child Krona was unfortunate enough to become one of her experiments, and when he allegedly failed, she wasted no time in discarding him. Krona is mentally unstable, and considering his upbringing under Medusa, such psychopathic tendencies are not surprising at all. At number 3, we have Mayu's mom from Elfenlied. Speaking of messed up, Mayu's mother from Elfenlied is really one mother who does not deserve to have any children. Already distant to her child to begin with, you could almost think that she couldn't get any worse. She would surprise you though, since apparently being emotionally distant isn't the worst that she could be. When she married another man, her husband started f***ing her own daughter, Mayu, who was but a small child. When Mayu finally told her about the abuse, she did not believe her daughter. To add insult to the injury, she even slapped Mayu, jealously accusing the child for allegedly stealing her man. Seriously, this anime mom is up there with the worst. At number 2, we have Akemi Hinazuki from Erased. From this intense new thriller comes one of the worst mothers in recent anime history. Meet Akemi Hinazuki, the perfect example of a mother that must be avoided like a plague. After misfortune struck her, she decided to take out her frustrations on the person closest to her daughter Kayo. Throughout poor Kayo's life, Akemi abused her in a menagerie of ways. Kayo was but a small kid, but she already experienced numerous injuries from her own mother, including a lot of bruises, instances of near suffocation, and other notable tortures. If this happened in real life, Akemi would either be in prison or sitting on death row.
ねえ、ひなずきのその傷は何なの？答えてあげな、かよ。 転んだの。
And at number 1 is Isabella from The Promised Neverland. Where do we even begin with Isabella? At first glance, she's a kind and caring woman who has devoted her entire life to raising all the little orphans of Gracefield House. One day, the children will bid farewell to their adored caregiver, whom they refer to as Mom, as they are adopted by loving foster parents and leave for their happily ever after. Here's a sweet video of her and the orphans.
ね、お家の中でみんなで一緒に幸せに暮らそう。
分かったよ、ママ。もういい子はやめる。行って、ママ。
Yeah, we lied. There is no adoption waiting for these orphans, and there aren't any doting parents either. Isabella has a vested interest in keeping it that way. It's her job, after all, to keep the children ignorant. Once Emma discovers the horrifying truth of what lies beyond the orphanage, she makes plans to escape. Many stories with child protagonists treat adults as incompetent idiots when compared to the simple wisdom of children. But Emma soon realizes that it's a mistake to underestimate Isabella. There's a reason why Isabella is in her position. She's a jailer who has helped maintain an unspeakable system. She knows that one of the children figured out the truth, but she doesn't have any proof of whom it is. But Isabella has her suspicions. What follows are mind games and intense game of cat and mouse as Isabella matches wits with Emma and her friends, who only wish to find a way out before it's too late. Guess which moms aren't getting cards this Mother's Day? People are raised to believe that mothers know best, but that's not accurate at all, as evidenced by these horrible anime moms. Just like in real life, mothers in anime run the full spectrum of human behavior too. Some moms are great, while others make questionable decisions. Some moms are appallingly terrible, and some moms are just doing the best they can with what they have. So for all you moms out there, you put up with a lot over the years, and you deserve far more than just flowers and cards this Mother's Day. Unlike these anime moms, who probably wouldn't appreciate a homemade macaroni card like you would, Mom, I love you. Well, happy Mother's Day, guys.